people, when they think of OODA, they imagine those 4 words arranged in a circle. And there's like an arrow that goes from left to right. Mm-hmm. And most people, that's where they stop, right? That's it. I'd like us to dig a bit more into that. But before that, I'm wondering if someone is listening to this and they're wondering, shall I spend the next hour listening? Why would they care? Why would someone care about this? It is the complexity. I think that's the obvious one. But is there something else to it? I think there is. I think it's interesting to get that high fidelity that tends to be lost over time. And I think you're doing a very good job of capturing it not only in speaking form and written form, but also presentational form. That's what really attracted me. You present these concepts really well. They're incredibly compressed because they may sound simple, but there's so much behind them. And I like how everything unpacks. So why do you care about this stuff as much as you do?
Oh, that's a great question. So my journey in technology took me into functional programming, right? So I went, pretty deep down the rabbit hole of pure functional programming, and became a Haskell programmer, and built systems with Haskell, which requires a mindset shift, right? You choose a different set of very fundamental abstractions when you program in a functional language. And so I wanted to find a similar small set of abstractions that compose well, that are cohesive, and that all kind of pull in the same direction. And for me, the OODA loop is, because it's so fundamental, like with functional programming, right? You've got very, very fundamental, well-defined, small building blocks. And because they are that shape, you can use them absolutely everywhere. So the way I think of stream programming now is the same way as I think of adding numbers, because that's the same underlying abstraction from the programming subculture that I come from. And the way I think about handling complexity at both the strategic and the tactical kind of immediate feedback loop levels, I now have the same mental models to think about both of those and to teach. So it's one mental model that you can apply to multiple things. And that's why it's so compressed, right? It's so compressed because you unpack it and it unpacks in a different way in one context and a different way in another context, but it's the same thing underneath.